the person that posted this is listening, this is not throwing you under the bus. This is an opportunity to learn. But I printed it out because I didn't want to, I didn't want to say it wrong. But here's the answer that was presented on how to get commercial work. The guy says you either got to bid property super cheap or you have to know someone. For the most part, they're either taking the lowest bid or going with somebody they know or heard of through word of mouth. Now, here's the kicker. Sometimes it's worth doing a property really cheap for a year just to get it and then raise the price. Am I the only one that sees the problem with that? Either bid the property super cheap or you have to know someone. Now, I'll go along with the knowing somebody. Hey, knowing somebody never hurts. But why do you want to say, I want to bid the property super cheap and then come back the following year and try to raise it up? That's not going to happen. What's that? There's a lot can be read into that post. The first thing I thought about when I read the post, and I'd like to put out there, is that's exactly why our failure rates for this industry, our lawn and landscape industry, are as high as they are. Because we have that mindset that we've got to go after all these customers based on the price of our service and not the value of the service. You don't have to sell your service based on cost. Because just like in that answer that was given, when you're selling your service based on cost, you're going to get fired for the same exact reason. The next year when somebody comes along 10 cents cheaper, you're going to be out the door. Yep, that's right. You're going to be fired. And now you're thinking, well, I'll do it for a year just to let them get to know me and like me and blah, blah, this. But, here's why that also doesn't work. If you look at any of the industry standards, and you guys know I hate to even use the word industry standard, okay? But I'm going to use it in this case. If you look at any of the industry standards or any of the industry surveys from any of the trade magazines or wherever you want to look and find the information, as a lawn and landscape industry, we are very reluctant to do one thing. And that one thing is to raise our prices. I challenge you and ask you having a price increase this coming year? Or maybe more importantly than that, when's the last time you had a price increase? You say, well, I don't need to have a price increase. Don't ever say you don't need to have a price increase. That's just so far off that it just makes my head hurt, quite honestly. If for no other reason than to keep up with inflation, and that's an easy number to find. Maybe it's 1.8%, maybe it's 2%, whatever it is each year, you have to have at least that inflation raise to make the same exact amount of money that you made last year, and that's assuming everything stays the same. And how many times does any of our costs stay exactly the same from year to year? It just doesn't happen. So how do you go about getting commercial work the right way? There's a lot of different things you can do. That's something we can help you with at Profits Unlimited. But we certainly don't go about getting that work by bidding the job, how they say it, super cheap. You don't have to bid the job super cheap. I did that in the past. I've done it, but it almost puts you out of money. Puts you out of money, puts you out of business, puts you out of profit. However you want to look at it, it's up to you how you want to look at it. But the reality of it is, man, we just got to not use the mentality of let's bid it super cheap and we'll try to raise the prices later on. That, my friends, is the quickest way to put yourself right out of business.